But first, other news here. At the hour, President and First Lady are in Atlanta. They are addressing America's opioid epidemic. This is at the Prescription Drug Abuse and Heroin Summit. So they landed, and this is images of them just a short time ago here in Atlanta. They were greeted by the governor and lieutenant governor. Meanwhile, some White House officials are claiming a victory in the fight against opioids. Joining me now is Dr. Anita Gupta. She's a pain specialist and former co-chair of the Opioid Task Force. And I know that you're pointing out that the president is doing an important job here, but there's more that needs to be done in fighting this epidemic. And we'll get into the statistics on why you say that. But what does that look like? What more does need to be done? I mean, we just saw the first time ever that an executive, a former executive from a drug company, is now facing a lawsuit.
Look, right now, as we know, the CDC has put out numbers from 2017, and the number that everyone knows in 2017, 70,000 Americans lost their lives due to drug overdoses, and that number is up from 2016. And we can do better. The White House knows this number, and there's certainly more numbers. 1 in 10 Americans have surgery every day in the United States, and many of them don't take opioids, and they come out becoming dependent on opioids. There is more that we can do. And
yeah, so
I know
what does that look like, though? What more? Is it more government regulation? I mean, I just talked to Joey Jackson in our last hour, and he was saying, listen, government regulation is great, but the lawsuit against this former CEO of RDC, this lawsuit, is actually overstepping.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, number one, there needs to be economics that go into this equation. We're underfunded and under-resourced. As a doctor on the ground, I saw this every day in Philadelphia. There's not enough resources for doctors and patients. There's not enough education. There's not enough understanding on how to use these drugs safely, both on the provider side and on the patient side, and even for families. What can they do? What are their options for pain control in the United States and for addiction management? I think that's number one. Education needs to be dispersed. Even though we talk a lot about this, there's still not a clear understanding on patients on what they can do on both sides of this, on both the pain side and on the addiction side. And the economics of this, number two, is very important. How do we fund this program, for both addiction and also for pain control? There's really an under-resourced and underfunded world here that we live in healthcare. And number three, we need to really support providers. We need to support healthcare systems, and we need to support payers. There's really a real problem that's on the ground, on the front end, on the front line.
Dr. Anita Gupta, it's obviously such a complex problem, which is why so many people are trying to figure out a solution to it. And we do appreciate your insight on it. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
And we are nearing